As you know, I'm your host, Jay, also known as Coach Jay. And damn it, I bring the best talent to my platform. And today I have a phenomenal linebacker from the Jersey Shore Waves WNFC player. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Ashley Evans, a linebacker and cornerback actually for the Jersey Shore Wave.
My apologies. She saw how she corrected me. She said, linebacker and a
I'm just,
corner.
I'm just gonna clear it up for the team, you know. I play corner primarily, and an outside linebacker too.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah,
Um, I want to talk about why you started playing football.
sure. I always love football. I come from a family that loves sports, loves watching sports, and grew up, with cousins really close in age, and always had a crew out playing all kinds of sports, right, in the yard, and football was one of them. If we could get enough people together, we'd always have a football game going, and so I just loved it and loved watching it. It's my favorite sport to watch. And then I started playing flag football as an adult, as most women do, right? Like we don't come to it, or except for now, it's like the fastest growing sport for young girls. But when I was coming up, yeah, you didn't play it until you got older, and so I started playing as an adult, and it quickly became my favorite sport, right? Like most people I know that grew up playing sports or even played sports in college, when they find flag football, it always becomes their favorite sport. And so I played that pretty competitively for about a decade before coming to tackle.
How did you start playing tackle?
Yeah, so a lot of the tackle girls actually started coming to play flag with us. I play in a pretty competitive and what I think is the biggest women's flag league on the East Coast, and so more and more women that had played co-ed or had played tackle professionally started coming to play flag with us, and so I met Nia and Danny first, and fell in love with them first before tackle. And they've been trying to get me to come out and play tackle for a while. A lot of us had that played flag had toyed around with the idea, and then met a broader group of people from the tackle team over the course of the last couple seasons, including one that doesn't play on the tackle team anymore, but she played last season, Steph Fogarty Yee, wide receiver that ended up being my dog. She played on my team with me, and I just really connected with her and was like, "Oh, I love this person." Like, and she convinced me in one practice. We were out running around, and she was like, "You got to do it. You just got to do it." I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I got to do it." Like I was like, before I get too old, and I was like, "I already am too old," and I was like, "So I might as well do it." Like, it's like one time I was joking with a friend of mine. Um, she was like, "What do you think we're gonna do once we're too old to play football?" I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I guess like a coach or something." And I was like, "What do you think we're gonna do?" She goes, "We're still gonna play football." I was like, "Yeah, you're right."
You 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 took on a gladiator sport, but then
Yeah.
most people that play flag football, when they transition to equipment, they want to play offense.
Oh,
Wow. So that face. You you took on the opposite side.
yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Why?
I love defense. Like, I actually started out in flag as an offensive player. Primarily, I would, dabble with defense and stuff, but most people play one side of the ball, right? And then for the vast majority of the years that I played flag, I played both sides of the ball. And over the course of that period of time, I just started to favor defense. I love all of the games within the game, right? Like that comes with playing defense and thinking strategically. I love reading the QB. I love reading the formations. I love trying to predict what's going to happen. I love the communication. I love the blitzing strategy. I like all the coverages. It's just like so dynamic. Like there's so much more to really love and dig into with defense. And I mean, just I love shutting people down too, Like it's just so gratifying to me. Like I would love to just be like, shut shit down, versus some big crazy catch. I don't care, like
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just like something so much more gratifying about just being clamps, than on offense.
Gotcha, gotcha. Because I was gonna say I can't really see you playing offense because I've been to your practices and I see how aggressive you are. I'm
Yeah.
like, these
Yeah.
offenses, yeah. I said, where's this
No,
adding
dude.
up? In
I
my
can
mind,
take
it's
it to
like,
the house. No, I can take it to the house. You should see. I can catch. I got hands and I can take it to the house.
no,
Like
no, no. I get that.
I
No
can do
doubt
it.
you
I
got
can do
hands, but
it.
I see the aggression. I'm like,
Yeah, no, I'm
offense,
like, yeah,
maybe a
yeah.
running back or something, you know?
That's like if I had guts, I told Coach Pat this, if I had guts, if I really had guts, I would have showed up at the tackle combine and told them I wanted to be a running back because that would be so fun. These guys, Jersey doesn't really run a two like back like set, like a fullback type of set.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was like, oh, I'd love to be like a fullback, like use check or something. Cause I can lead block. I can block downfield, and I can do some
Gotcha.
pass pro too. I understand I'm pretty good size, so I was like, I can do some pass pro. I was like, that would be dope, but I didn't have enough guts. I was like, no, I'm not gonna be like a old white running back, and like the WNFC. So let me just go
If you,
here.
you said fullback and you said old, wow, first thing that ran through my mind is like, was she gonna be Sam Gash, you know?
Yeah, no, I was like, let me go to defense. But it was cool. But I that means something, and like right away though, so when I shut up, I was like, oh, I want to play defense. They were like, really? And I was like, yeah. And like I saw Asia, I met Asia and Britt and Butts like day one, and they
Yeah.
were all, you want me on the dark side? They're like, yeah, you look like you can be on the dark side, I was like, yeah. I was like, okay, okay, I get these guys, yeah. So I was so glad though. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Playing defense. It
Hmm.
has its, pros and cons, obviously. But Butts always says you have to have a few screws loose to want to play defense.
Yeah.
How true is that statement?
I mean, you got a few screws loose to want to play football, period. Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, it's deep, man. It's deep. Like one of the things they made us do at the beginning of the season was like try and think of our why. Like why are we doing this? You got to have a why, and I'm just like, oh, like I don't know, whatever it is, it's deep and it's probably dark. Like because I don't know why I want to do this. I love football, but yeah, for sure. It's unnerving, It's unnerving and it's like um, and if you're doing it right, like you care, you're obsessed with um, the responsibility, to like shut it down and to, shake it off and like get right back in it. You have to play with a level of like confidence and just like determination, and you have to like just dominate, You have to like dominate and to like choose to dominate like something or someone is like, yeah, you have to have a few screws loose, probably. You gotta like,
No, because you're giving out the hits. You love hitting someone and then
yeah,
you putting them on the
yeah.
ass.
You know what? I was out with a friend and we were talking about it, and she was like, what is going on with you, like mentally that makes you need to like balance that with like this physical thing that you do? And I was like, I don't know, maybe I just want to hit people. I'm like, I think it might just be that,
You would have been a perfect fullback.
in this day and age where you just can't do that
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah, maybe, but we all want to. Yeah, maybe it's that.
So from the transition from flag to football, excuse
Yeah,
me, to equipment,
yeah.
what was the hardest part for you?
The tackling. I just didn't I thought it would because I also will brag about what a great wrestler I am too. And I'm like so I just thought like I maybe I took for granted that, like that I was like, oh, I because I also play contact flag. I don't play like non-contact. I play like primarily like the vast majority of all the flag I've played is contact, right? And so you're not hitting people. Like you're not there's like a live pass rush, there's blocking downfield, you're pancaking people, you can chuck people off the line, all these things. It's a very physical game, right? Of flag. And so I thought that coupled just with like my my wrestling, my self-proclaimed wrestling prowess. Like I was like, I got this. Like, and I think everybody that knew me too, I swear to God, these guys would not have been like trying to get me to come play tackle, you know? And
Yeah.
everybody in my life that knows me too was like, you got this. And I was like, I got this for sure. And I went out and I really took for granted just how what a skill that is. It's like it's a real skill and it requires like real technique, like, you know, structured technique that you learn and you drill and you get reps at and you learn to do correctly. Like, because if
Yes.
you don't do it correctly, like, you know, right away and you can get really hurt, you know? And so, and at the same time too, even just doing it right, like the instinct to do it right. Like I remember the first time we went out and we put on pads, you know, they got us in pads really early, like Jersey did. Like I know a lot of the teams in the WFC didn't start training in pads, but you know, we were quick to get the pads on, you know, so that conditioning was up. But uh we when we started hitting, right? When we really started hitting, the expectation was to start like hitting and bringing each other down. Just just that instinct. I took for granted that like the instinct to like even just do it right wasn't there. I was like, oh, this is something that I've never done before, and that people who do it, you know, all the time have done, you know, 1,000 times. And so I had to get up to speed with that, and I took that very like I was really preoccupied with finding some extra training, watching a lot of video, talking to teammates, getting extra reps with teammates and practice. But yeah, that was the biggest thing. It was just the tackling technique.
That I could see that being a problem. Not a problem, meaning like the learning curve being there
It's a
until you get
thousand
comfortable.
percent. I mean, we're even you see it week two. We're you know after week two. I don't know when this will air, but even in just a couple weeks in, like making a solo tackle, probably only, you know, is one of the toughest things to do in football. Second, probably only to bringing someone down who's running at full speed, you know, like, but both of them are tackling, right? They're two of the toughest things to do in football. And so, yeah, the pursuit, the right angle, and then the technique to get them down. I think somebody on our team is really, Nandi Brown is a great tackler. I love watching
Yeah.
Nandi tackle. Yeah, she makes nice low hits around the legs every time. Yeah, it's tough, and it's tough like to get all the reps you need, you know, to do it well, you know, before games.
Getting that first hit too helps out a lot to get the
Mm.
jitters out of your system.
Hmm.
What was that experience like for you, that first hit? Not the first hit you gave, the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
hit you took.
Yeah, I mean, I took a number of hits from Maddie Grayson, like yeah, you know. And if anybody watches our games, then they know who she is. She is a bruising wide receiver. You know, she's got the size, the athleticism,
Yeah.
the speed, the skill, everything. You know, like the first time we did Oklahoma's, like we did Oklahoma drills, and they put three offensive players on one side and they put three defensive players on the other side. And just any three people go out, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that it was like I went into the back position, and then the two linemen in front of me were one was Serena Gonzalez, a very small, like a cornerback, and then a rookie, like a linebacker, I think, in front of me. And I didn't realize, I was like, this is probably not a good idea. And then Maddie Grayson was the ball carrier, and she got through that line so fast and I didn't go down. I went high on her
Oh,
and I tried to
shit.
wrap her up high and she just took me for a ride, bro. Like probably walked me back like at least a good 5 yards, you know, before she dropped me off. And I was like, okay, I learned about
That was your wake up moment. You're like, okay, I'm here. I'm here.
yeah.
But you made a good point. You went high. If you would have went low,
Oh yeah.
you would have
Yeah, yeah,
got,
for
it
sure.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
it before we, let's talk about week one. You hurt your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I broke my hand.
How how devastating was that?
Well, it was actually prior to the game, prior to the week one game. It was rough. It's still rough. If I'm honest with you, it's like psychologically like just like a lot to deal with,
Mhm.
because it's tough as I'm like the kind of competitor that it bleeds into like every aspect of my life, It helps, professionally and um uh spiritually, right? Like I have a lot of like drive and a lot of like resilience, and faith and everything, but um sometimes you just there's just some odds you can't beat, and this is like one of them. And so it's been really tough to accept that I'm grounded, like I can't play right now. I have pins in my hand, like literally, and it's just one of those things that's just like too dangerous to like work around. I work around injury all the time. I mean, even in flag, it's like one of those sports that if you can't play injured, you can't play it, It's just
Yeah.
what this is what it is, and so um I yeah, I'm still struggling with it a bit and trying to, I don't know, like love parts of myself that are also really lovable, other than
Yeah.
this like thing, this like outlet, this sort of like instant gratification physical thing that I can do that's like really rewarding and 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 get into like the other aspects, right? Like so I'm a very cerebral and very spiritual person too, and I've got a lot going on. I've got like I'm starting a business, and I've got
Congratulations.
thanks, I appreciate that. Uh and I need to pour, like some love into that, and I've got people who I really love and care about that throughout this process, right, of both like the business and playing tackle and the increased training and everything. Like I haven't seen or been able to connect with that I can reconnect with, in this moment, and spend some time like getting into like that gratitude space, in other ways. And so, yeah, it's been really difficult, but I know there's lessons in there, right? And blessings that I gotta like try and find, like otherwise, you
No,
know.
no, and that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
We have to kind of address the elephant in the room.
Sure.
You're in a pay to play league, not
Hmm.
pay to play.
Yeah.
However, the league is coming up
Yeah.
and you are becoming, you're paving the way for the ladies coming up now
Yeah.
and you're sacrificing a lot.
Yeah.
How do you keep a balance?
Yeah. I mean, well, in order for something to be balanced, it needs to be equitable, right?
Mhm.
And I think that we got to find ways to make it very equitable, because uh we're not going to just go linearly, right, from like paying to play to paid to play, right?
Yeah.
And we're not all paying to play. Like in fact there's lots of ways that like value is being, created and delivered on both sides, right? From ownership and league to the players as well, right? Like being there's value being exchanged there, right? Like given in the form of like supporting like preseason ticket sales and fundraising through sponsorship, right? There's like inherent value that we deliver that ends up getting us sponsors and ends up, driving ticket sales that we're credited with, right? And so that alleviates the burden of like raising funds directly, like and paying to play, right? And so, therefore, I'm not like fond of that narrative because I think that it's not necessarily supportive of getting into a dialogue right away about equity, right? And an equitable sort of exchange and model that I think is like available to us today if we take a look at it, right? And that's also uh really important too if we're talking about like, oh, the future and paving the way. It's like, well, let's do it though, and let's do it responsibly, right? Like
Mhm.
because that's a gift that we also need to give to the girls that are coming behind us as well, right? Um and so yeah, it's like it's a giant elephant. It's like it really is, and it's gonna get sorted out, sooner than later, I think.
No, it is, and you can see the popularity of the league growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could see it. I mean, I was at yesterday's game, and what I told you off camera, I said I didn't expect so many people to show up.
Yeah, it was a good sized crowd. It was probably there was 1,100 like tickets sold. It looked like there's probably about that many people there, if not more. I don't know how many they sold at the door either, but it was pretty significant. And I know that a lot of us that helped drive preseason ticket sales, a lot of us met our goals around that, and
Hmm.
and so that's significant as well. I can't spitball about how much that is, but it should be significant. I would expect more people throughout the season too. We only have 3 home games too, like it's a short season. As it grows, like as the season, gets longer in the future as well, I expect like more and more people to be coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Because it's still a baby and it's starting to grow. The product is
Yeah.
starting to grow, and you can see
Yeah.
it. You're getting your
The
championship game on
relation
ESPN too. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it's on ESPN. And then at the same time, too, we also have the partnership with Victory Plus where they broadcast every game and then you
Hmm.
can go on and watch all the replays as well. I have family and friends on the West Coast that are watching it that way,
Yeah,
and it's great. Yeah.
that's awesome. That's a plus in itself.
Mhm. It's major. Yeah, it's huge.
That's huge because
Yeah.
now you're getting, like you said, that's going to drive sponsorship. That's driving awareness. People are attending the games.
Yeah.
I mean, I found out through the league. Shout out to my homegirl Annalise. She last season she played in the halftime game. She played the flag football game at halftime while you ladies were playing at home.
Yeah, yeah. I've
And then
heard you
she
say
put me,
that.
yeah, she had put me on to that. She was, hey Jay, she actually wants to play for the league for the Waves eventually.
Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah.
Yeah, so but you could see it growing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
definitely could see everything growing.
Yeah, for sure. It's the quality of the game is getting better, year after year. The people are really compelling, the athletes are really compelling. I mean, I remember going to the combine and it was just one of the most fun days I've ever had. It was so much fun. And that's just like also my brand of like craziness though. This just like running sprint after sprint and
Yeah.
like being put through that type of like, physical like nonsense is like so fun for me. But at the same time too, I met so many people there where I was like, these people are amazing. Like really, really fun, like really, really brilliant, really like swaggy and just fun people to be around. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, I wanna spend my time with these girls. They're fucking cool, you know? Sorry I cussed. Oh
That's
man.
one. No, that's okay. It's all good. I slip the fuck word every now and then.
All right, cool.
I look at the way not just the Jersey Shore Waves teammates, but in general the way the league and the players support each other.
Yeah.
Because I was actually talking about that with Jennifer. She actually runs the Atlanta team sports media page.
Okay, cool.
Her and I were conversing about this, and she said we support the Waves. The Waves support us. It's not. Yes, we are competitive. When that whistle blows, we're competitive. But in terms of help and growth, we all support each other, and that's very rare to find.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If you think about it, look at the way with which the other women's professional sports leagues engage with each other though. It's like competitive, of course, when it's game time, but
Yeah,
then like it's not. They're all having fun with each other and stuff.
yeah,
Because even that in those leagues, like it's even probably like more important because they are facilitating, like they have the financial means to facilitate things like trades and free agency and
Yeah.
bigger contracts. They're always gonna you might end up on teams with each other, and so it feels like they have good relationships too. Um, yeah, it's just like it's also just a group of people who kind of understand each other. We all kind of, we have at least one thing in common,
Yeah.
probably more than one, like a handful.
No, it's true,
So,
but it's awesome to see. It's
yeah,
definitely awesome to see.
yeah, it's super fun. Yeah, it's a blessing.
Now, now that's flag football because it's true what you said. Flag football is growing, and
Yes.
there's flag footballs in the high school now for ladies.
Yeah.
It's they're giving out scholarships now. Things are really growing,
Yeah.
which is kind of what Pinch said to me. She said, the reason why it's gonna elevate the gameplay.
Mm.
How important do you think that is on you from your perspective?
You mean how important
It
is it
is in
to
terms of having flag football or football in general at a young age for the ladies.
yeah. Oh, it's like in the realm of flag, it's great, the younger you start, the more experience you get, your football IQ higher, right? Like I mean a lot of people coming into flag when I what I see primarily is like as like one of the things when people really start to level up is when they get like the football IQ, once they
Mhm.
start really thinking more strategically about different defenses and, thinking about different types of like offenses, right? And you start thinking about leverage and numbers and matchups and things like that, right? That's when it goes like sort of next level. Like so, and people sometimes they come in and they have like uh, uh a great level of athleticism, right? So they can make crazy catches and keep up with each other. A lot of times we just default to man
Yeah.
and then just like in someone's face and we're just out jockeying each other, But like once you get that like head full of football IQ and you really get football pilled, that's when everything takes off. And so I think it's just natural that like the earlier you start football, the quicker you're gonna get football pilled and you just can become a better football player. So I think in the realm of flag, that's major. But from flag to tackle. I don't know how much it's going to impact it. I just think like now that I've had that experience, like of making the transition, and I've also seen it go the other way. I've seen people who are, very prolific, like tackle players come and try and play flag, and then it just doesn't translate instantly. It takes a minute, for it to translate. Um, yeah, it's like it's gonna help. I don't see how it doesn't help with the cross pollination, but you're still gonna have like some, it's gonna
Gotcha.
take. There's gonna be this moment of transition. It's not gonna just come in. I mean, I joke that like my eyes must have been like this big the first time I like got out on that field, in
Yeah.
pads, and I was like, and I had a line in front of me and I had like gap responsibilities and like the just even the level of like sound, like everything you're processing, the information you're processing. And I gotta say too, like I'll give them credit, man. Like it's tough when you just watch it on tape and you don't see like the speed and the size and the athleticism of these like tackle girls, it's different, it's pro, it's different. It is a different level. Everybody's just like a really amazing athlete.
No, no, I definitely could see that.
Yeah.
We were talking off camera, and you kind of admitted you're a film junkie.
Yeah, I like to watch tape.
You like to watch tape, you like to
Yeah.
see games and stuff like that, and you see, responsibilities. Where did you build that from? Because that's not something a lot of people, and there's no disrespect, but kind of like in high school for men, they kind of in the down south or in Jersey, they kind of start implementing that early.
Yeah.
You built that on your own. How did you start that?
Yeah, I think that I'm just like literally that competitive. Like I want to win. Like I said, I played flag for a long time, and as soon as I sort of got football pilled and I got really into winning, I got into preparation. And so the first like sort of more experienced like senior players that brought me into that fold, into those like group chats and into those film sessions and started helping build, like we started talking about building the playbooks together and stuff, that's when I really got into it and I understood the value, right? And I'd roll up and I would just know like I can just I would roll up almost every game and I would know just based off the personnel and the formation exactly what routes they're running and I would just tell them you know what I mean, like what they're going to get up to. Now we got to execute, of course, but um yeah, I just got I did it. I saw results, kept winning, made me hungrier,
And gotcha.
got me, and it just got me. I'm just like that. I'm like that in my personal life too. Like you know, at work and with respects to my relationships and stuff with my family and my friends. I'm just like very rigorous and I just put a lot of like care into those
You
things.
seem you seem very aggressive with how you want to get things done. Not
Mm,
reckless aggressive,
yeah.
but you have that tenacity where you're like, okay, I want to get this done this way.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
go.
yeah, exactly.
Let's
That's
go.
not, yeah, that's like, yeah, exactly.
We gotta talk about the last game's beatdown.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And I hate to say it like that because
Yeah.
clearly I am a fan,
Yeah.
but it was a beatdown.
No, I was. And then even on the way over here, I was like, with one of my best friends right before this, and I was like, how do we even talk about a loss like that, you know, without, you know, is there like a politically correct way to talk about that? And she goes, man, I don't think so. I think like
They
I
really,
think you just have to accept it and
you have
like,
to accept it and move forward.
yeah, yeah.
You was missed on the field.
Yeah.
Clearly, you saw it.
Man, yeah, we needed depth for sure, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough game, physically exhausting, and we had players going down, and there were changes that they were trying to implement for sure. Yeah, it sucks. It hurts to not be able to be available or to it's even hard. It's one thing to be like, you know, on the sideline and wanting to get in there and make a difference and it's another layer of hell to be on the sideline and not be able to get there in there and do anything about it, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, but you saw we saw the running plays. They were doing passes.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm pretty sure because you're a film junkie, you saw things evolving.
Mm-hmm.
How do you coach up your teammates? I was gonna say your players. You know what I mean? Coach
Yeah.
up your teammates, knowing that you're hurt and hoping they take that advice. How difficult was that for you being on the sideline?
Yeah, it's a little tough. I mean, just because it's like at times it's really important that there's just one voice, you know, and that's the coaches, right? Like when those things are happening. There was like a moment in the locker room at halftime where I was talking with a player who was like expressing just how frustrating it was to be getting held. You know what I mean? They
Hmm.
have the Atlanta team's a sizable team. They're really strong. Like they're relatively quick too, and very physical. They hit, you know, their offense hits, you know, uh the running backs get out, you know, and get downfield block. The receivers, even if they're not in their play, they're coming off and they're hitting you every time, you know, making their presence felt. And so one of our my teammates was expressing just how frustrating it was to be getting held every play, you know, and you know, I talked a little bit about the idea of just being as evasive as you can then in those moments, it's like uh, sometimes good to not get touched. Then try and not let them touch you. Keep that distance. You know what I mean? Keep them in front of you. Like take a step back. Be a little bit more evasive. Fire, you know, your hands. Like keep them at arm's length. You know, so you can shed that block and stuff. And just don't let them hold you. You know, do what you can to not get held. But it's like you know, you can. That's about all you can do in those moments. Sometimes it's like tough. It's also it's just like yeah, it's like there's a lot going on. Everybody's like frustrated. It's really important that they hear the coach's voice, you know, in those moments. And we do what we can, just like to be there for them. But yeah, I don't remember offering much more than that, you know.
No, no, yeah, no, of course, but
Yeah,
you ladies are gonna bounce back.
yeah,
It happens, but you
yeah,
are a young team. Your defense is young.
yeah,
Going back from the line, you're not being there. There's a lot of rookies starting,
yeah,
and it could have been a good learning lesson for them.
So I sure hope so, man. I hope they get something out of it. That's for sure.
I mean, in a game like that, you only can hope, you
Yeah,
know?
I sure hope so. I really hope so. I feel for them. Like I really do. I really feel for them. I mean, as much as like it pains me to not be able to get in and do something, I know it's got to feel worse to be in there
Yeah.
and feel like really frustrated and even like with both like the outcome and yourself too, they're real competitors, and they um are really uh really proud, really hardworking people, and so we've talked today already, like some folks have been talking, they're already like working on
Yeah,
it,
that
they're
had to piss them off.
yeah, I
Had
mean
to, had
it's
to.
a bummer. It's a bummer for sure.
And
Yeah.
listen, it happens. It
It started
happens.
out strong. I mean, I'll give them. It is. It was a game for a few quarters. It really was. Like there was they had a couple big plays. Where they broke. And they scored quickly. But they battled for a few quarters for sure, and it
Definitely.
was looking pretty good for at least half the game. So it's got to be a little frustrating. Atlanta's a great team though. They look great. They look improved from last season. I know they just gave Washington the business, when they played them. That was a very close game too. And
Yeah,
so
no, no. But
good.
like you said, they gave the offense is very aggressive. Their
Yeah.
receivers are very aggressive. And I'm not saying they're dirty players because that's not where I'm going with it. They're aggressive. They let their presence be felt.
No, it's amazing. They play great football.
They play
Yeah.
great football. Great football.
You're never gonna catch me being one of those people that like worry too much about the dirty this, dirty that,
No, no, I
like
just because I
unless
see.
someone's egregious, like I'm not into that. Like one of the best things that someone told me like once, because I was like that, like and I don't know if it's like a tri-state area thing or something, but I was like, I was like that early in flag because I play contact flag, right? So we get held too, we get popped, we get bull rushed, it's very physical, too. And I was complaining just about some of the pinching and the twisting and the
Yeah.
holding and all this, and I was just like lamenting about this team. We were going to Philly, we were going to go play Philly, and I said they're so dirty though, and this and that, and um. Uh, it was for travel. It was a travel team. I think we were getting ready for our national tournament actually, and I'm playing at a pretty competitive level. And I'm traveling with Kat Rodriguez, who is a probably one of the most accomplished like women's flag football players in the country, like let alone the tri-state area. And she'd been playing at that point far more competitively than the rest of us, and she'd been trained up, right? And she'd got exposed to all kinds of like play at different tournament levels, right? And she said to me, she said, "You know what our problem is?" She goes, "So many of you guys want to play black and white." She said, "You want to play in the black and white." She goes, "And everybody else plays in the gray." She goes, in New York, that's the problem. She goes, "You think that everybody should play black and white, but nobody's going to play in the black and white except you guys. And if you don't learn to play in the gray, or at least learn to accept that and figure out that you play in the gray," she was like, "You're never going to be competitive. We're not going to win, you know?" And I was like, whoa, and it like blew my mind. And you know what I did is it didn't make me a dirty player. I didn't start pinching and twisting and pulling and
Yeah.
holding. I didn't start doing that. But I stopped complaining about it, and I stopped expecting anybody else to stop doing it. And what I did was is I figured out how to play in the gray. I figured out how
Gotcha.
to get evasive. I figured, oh, you like to pinch and hold? Bop. You know what I mean?
Got-
Fireman, you don't touch me. You're not gonna touch me then. I'll tell you you're not
Gotcha.
going to touch me anymore, you know?
Gotcha. That makes
And I'll tell you, like,
sense.
get up in your face. So just like that, all this like this worry and concern about dirty, dirty. I'm not like that.
But
Like
when I was saying it, I was. It wasn't that you ladies were complaining because nobody's complaining. I'm saying because
they
a lot
do.
of people.
Some people do.
Yeah, no, because that I'm saying, but everybody.
Yeah.
This world is sensitive, so now you got to be like, oh, just to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
clear.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, then Atlanta, because then Jennifer Miami, but you're trying to say, no, no, Atlanta wasn't dirty. They play hard, and you
Yeah,
respect
they play
that,
hard. Yeah, yeah.
and you got
Mhm.
and you got to respect that. They come to hit. They come to play.
Yeah, yeah. For
You
sure.
you
No,
touched on something.
it was a
Oh,
very they played an
very
awesome game.
physical. They
Yeah,
play
very
very
physical.
physical.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
now. Now, this you have a shortened season. Season's not long. Every game counts. You have to have a bounce back game. It's
Mm,
like a must win in this
yeah,
league. Because
yeah,
I was talking to Memphis, I was talking to a Diamond from Memphis a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Yo, you ladies lost a tough one to Texas." She was like, "Yeah," and I said, "Well, the short season, you got to bounce back fast." I'm kind of agree, like you don't have there's not room for error and losses is very small because the
yeah.
season is
Big
very
playoffs.
small,
Yeah, exactly.
which kind of makes the season better because now every game counts.
Yeah,
It's not a lot of games you're like, "Oh, okay, don't worry." No, you have to win every game. Or you have to be competitive in every game because then it's gonna
yeah,
come down to points and stuff like that. So that's where I'm kind of going with that one. How
yeah, for sure.
difficult is it to make a comeback?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's I think sometimes it's easier to lose one and win one,
Hmm.
than it is to keep winning sometimes, that's for sure. You never know. Alls I know is that um the folks that were on that field, on Saturday evening are already talking about changes that they want to make, personally, and they are being accountable to their teammates and the coaches, and they'll do everything that they need to do, to get back out there on the 18th. There's folks that are also now dealing with injury too,
Yeah,
that are gonna have to take care and do some rehab as well. And they've already spoken up too and checked in. The team's uh, really communicative and accountable to each other, so that they'll show up and do what they got to do. And we'll see what kind of feedback the coaches have as well. They'll take a look at the tape and make hopefully the necessary adjustments, to get us competitive because we should be, and we were for, the majority of that game. Like I said, there was just a few plays that they just
yeah.
broke. They just
Freeze
broke,
that down. Yeah,
and score fast, and yeah, and it got out of hand. But
you
yeah,
ladies will bounce back. You got Washington next.
yeah, we got Washington next.
I will
Yeah,
definitely be there again.
yeah,
You
that'd
know,
be good. Yeah, that'd be a good
but
one.
it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
must win. I can't wait to see must win for both
yeah.
teams.
It's also it's cool to get to play like teams. It's also it's great to get to play teams like Washington, right? That have these like winning histories, right? Atlanta. It's also great to see like just the level of play, just them level up. Like they so clearly did, right?
Yeah,
Like and I would fully expect Chicago to have a good crew as well this season. And so it should be a good last few games.
it's gonna be a great last few games. But
Yeah.
actually, I'm gonna wrap this up now. I really
Okay.
appreciate your time.
Yeah. I appreciate your
Phenomenal
time
player.
too.
I'm really looking forward. I'm hoping your hand heals faster.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm praying
Yeah.
for you, but if you can't play, your health goes first over everything.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And thanks for
Okay.
everything you do too for us. I know you've been coming out like since training camp and everything, and doing this, like documenting these interviews now, like the
Yeah.
early years is really cool, and I'm sure we'll really appreciate it in the long term.
I appreciate you ladies more than you know.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
All right.